gymnasts into the arena for our next final, women's uneven bars. Steve Billiard alongside Christine Still, and oh, don't know where to focus, Christine. All sorts of things happening in this session, because up until, you know, half an hour ago, it had been going along so seamlessly, but we've got a little bit of drama, and these competitors now have to just block all that out and get on with the job. So the vault presentation's been made, but only 7 finalists here in the uneven bars, with the news that Kristen Clarenbach has withdrawn.
And Charlotte Lindsley, the gymnast from England, Jordan Lipton from Scotland, Jocelyn Hunt from England, Georgia Bonora, won the highest qualifiers, and Claudia Lemieux, the overall champion, Lauren Mitchell.
And Heem Wei from Singapore. As you feel, so I understand that Christine Clarenbach was thrown somewhat by the events of the vault judging and is feeling unable to take her place in the field. She would have actually been first up on uneven bars, so that now falls to Charlotte Lindsley.
And Charlotte, each country only allowed 3 gymnasts in the all-around final. Charlotte was the 4th of the English girls, so didn't compete in the all-around final. This is her 1 final, so great moment for her.
Qualified with a 12.45.
She came into the team relatively late, well, in the last 3 days before they left, taking the place of Marissa King, one of the Olympic team members who had to drop out through injury. She's a member of the Heathrow Gymnastic Club.
Charlotte Lindsley ready to go as we start the uneven bars final.
Needs all the composure she can find. Good handstand, lifts up to the high bar, beautifully flighted move. And another well-flighted Kachev somersault. Hits the handstand and again. Linking her work well and flying through air very nicely. Smoothly into the full pirouette. Feet on late, on and off to handstand, lifts, spins a double twist. What a great start to this women's uneven bar competition.
Oh, yes, indeed. She's really set the bar high, if I can say that. And not phased at all by having to go first at short notice.
For a gymnast who's very inexperienced, only just become an international performer, look at the height she made from the low bar to the high. Hits those handstands, which are all important. Hasn't got the biggest level of difficulty, just 1 release, but very nice and smooth, and spins that double twisting dismount.
She's quite long-limbed and really gives an elegant appearance on the uneven bars. And the judges, I wonder what they made of that. It was a good start, and the other competitors know they're going to have to hit their routines well to match what we've seen from Charlotte Lindsley.
That's right. She's a very calm personality. We've seen her smile throughout the championships.
And an 11.9, so a fairly conservative start from the judges, if we can put it that way.
Giving themselves plenty of room for manoeuvre.
Jordan Lipton, 17, from the Notts Gym Club, representing Scotland, born in Fife.
Been a very consistent member of the Scottish team, and in fact of the British junior team. Good full pirouette to start, into the Kachev, linking difficult elements together. Up into handstand, very nice turn there. And a Ginger somersault, so that's 2 of the most difficult release and catches already. Into the forward element, you have to try and show different grasps. Now smoothly up to this high bar. Needs to keep her stamina. Needs to lift up into the dismount. She kicks up, she holds the pike. Oh, that was a shame. Big step forwards, because that was a pretty good routine.
In the end, did well to keep her knees off the mat, as she did lose the landing.
Just a little bit short of stamina, but that's the catch. If you can see her release the bar and then re-catch it, swinging in that forward grasp, turning, hitting the handstand again, just tiny leg form faults. And she just needed to hold on a little bit longer, rotate a little bit further, but she fought for all she was worth.
Yeah, kept the hands and knees off the mat, but a couple of big steps on landing, and see what the judges made of that. She qualified with a 12.4. We've got an 11.9 already from Charlotte Lindsley.
Jordan coached at Notts by Claire Starkey and Ian Kime. They're one of the most successful clubs in Great Britain.
Scottish national champion. Posted Charlotte Lindsley's score quite quickly, but having a think perhaps about the landing of Lipton.
Yes, they have to decide just how big a penalty to make for those big steps. Judges deduct in tenths. They can deduct a 0.1, 0.3, a 0.5. And if the hands actually touch, and they consider it a fall, 1 whole mark. But I don't think they would say that. She saved it. Judges, of course, from all the different countries that are represented, so they have to come together to form a consensus.
Well, it made the judges just a little nervous after what happened on the vault. Scores in now 11.65, so Lindsley still in first with another 5 to come. A field of 7 only after the withdrawal of Clarenbach. Now Jocelyn Hunt of England, just 15.
The baby of the team. Another very good lift to the high bar. Makes a turn. Big somersault. Beautifully caught at arm's length. Straight back down to the low bar. Just a tiny bit short on some of the handstands. The judges deduct if the feet don't go right over the head in the handstand. You see she's just a tiny bit short on those, but beautiful straight arms on her swing. Quick, and yeah, she pirouetted quickly and didn't get the second hand right on the bar.
10,000 here at Indira Gandhi Stadium felt that moment, and they're right with her and applauding the fact that she's going to get back up. Very supportive crowd.
She can't believe it. She'd done all the things that she was concerned about. That's for Jocelyn a relatively simple move. She no doubt was already thinking about the dismount, and that's just what happens. Lifts up into the dismount, double pike, lands well. She'll be very disappointed with herself. That's of 3 days of competition, that's the first time she's made a mistake. Here you see her lift very nicely up to the high bar. Hits the handstand. She turns, put one on, and the other one doesn't quite grasp properly. The gymnasts with their hand guards have dowels. They have a sort of thing that they have to get over. We call it a dowel, that they have to get over the bar. And if you don't get them over the bar, the force at the bottom of the swing, your hands can't hold on and you rip off.
Yeah, she forced the bar in between the fingers and the dowel and didn't grasp it properly and parted company with the apparatus, and there you go. That's a disappointing moment for Jocelyn Hunt, who was 5th in the all-around. At 15, a great future again. So many promising English gymnasts coming to this competition, men and women, and an 11.225 for Jocelyn Hunt.
A good score, considering 1 whole mark was lost for falling from the apparatus.
Next up will be 20-year-old Georgia Bonora. from Melbourne, Australia, and came in with an equal top qualifying score, 14.25.
And you could see the gymnast and coach preparing the bars. Every gymnast likes the bars just a little bit different. After seeing one gymnast fall off, everybody's extra anxious to make the bar grippy.
So Georgia Bonora, the current national champion for Australia on uneven bars.
Watch this. Front somersault to start with. Clear circle down to the low bar. Beautiful line. She's very confident. Swinging well. Now hits her handstands. We'll see there she's securely on with that full pirouette. Finished the turn nearly in handstand, which is what you want to see. Good forward element. Up. High dismount. Oh, beautiful landing. She's after that gold medal there.
And she knows that it's her teammate Lauren Mitchell that's possibly the one to beat, but Bonora has thrown down a big challenge here.
She has. That was very well performed, that routine. Caught the bar on the front somersault to start. Swings, hits her handstands well. Powerfully up to the high bar. You can see her feet are directly above her. Swings the inverted forward giant, double front somersault, beautifully landed.
So she qualified with a 14.24. In the all-around, she fell back a little with a 13.35, but she's back to near her best there, it would seem, Chris.
Yep, I'm sure that will go in as the highest score we've seen so far today.
Coach Peggy Liddick very pleased with her charge. $13.925. Well, I think she might have been hoping for something over 14, but if the judges are consistent, she won't have a complaint.
No, there were just a couple of areas where she used a bit of strength rather than swing to get up to the bar, and they've got lots of little deductions.
Cynthia Lemieux-Guillemette of Quebec, Canada. First on uneven bars at the 2009 Canadian National Championships. Powerful gymnast.
And usually starts between the two bars, up to the high bar. Very nice handstand. Lovely 1.5 pirouette into the front somersault. Two very difficult elements linked. Well flighted, those moves. Now that's just a bit of strength. You can see her labouring slightly, but that was smoothly done. Good clear circle to handstand. Love another very good full pirouette. Forward swing into the double front. Another very good routine.
Well done, Cynthia Lemieux-Guillemette. She's in 3 finals, only missing the vault.
Caught that at arm's length. If you catch the bar with the elbows bent, the judges deduct, but that was very good. Timed it beautifully. Here we see her on and off to handstand. Swing down, up, double front, knees apart. That loses a few tenths, but the landing was very good.
See how satisfied Cynthia is with that performance. 13.925 to beat from Bonora.
A difficult routine, very comparable routines, actually.
Let's see how the judges viewed it.
As the gymnast performs, they write the routine down in a shorthand, so they record the whole routine and make little points where they're deducting, so a judge can always go back over the score and justify any score they gave. So they add them all up at the end to discover who's has the least deductions and the most difficulty.
Again, a little bit of a delay in posting the score for Cynthia.
The first combination of 1.5 turns into the Jaeger somersault wasn't as crisp as we've seen it. She was just a little bit late with the last half turn. And it's little things like that that the judges will probably look back on the replay to check whether they will make a deduction for the second half being a little bit late. Now she starts to just worry.
Yes.
I thought it was good.
What are they looking at? What have they found?
That's right.
She finished 8th all around. And for Cynthia Lemieux-Guillemette, she's looking satisfied with 13.35. It's not good enough to tip out Bonora. Almost a 0.6 behind the Australian. Lauren Mitchell from Perth, Western Australia, our all-around champion at these Commonwealth Games, and has a routine to match Bonora if she hits it.
Such a stylish gymnast. Legs locked together. Crisp turn there. High somersault. Another very good handstand. And a clean pirouette. All the turns need to happen near the vertical. Now, there was no doubting she got right to handstand there. Half turn. Lifts, double front, the big pace forwards. Now, will that be the difference between first and second?
It could be. Bonora wondering exactly the same thing, because there was very little else wrong with this routine.
No, there wasn't. It was very nicely performed. Good pirouette there. You could see she finished that pirouette in the handstand. Just again on that transfer, you could see her bend the elbows a little bit. That turn was a fraction late. There were only tiny, tiny deductions, but it was good, crisp work.
Just slightly over-rotated on the dismount, but cheering on a teammate. And I wonder if they are your gold and silver medalists, but in what order? This is a really interesting moment here, because Mitchell already is an all-round champion, gold in the team. She walk away with a heavy bag of gold medals because she's got a couple of other finals to come and will be favourite for certainly the beam.
She probably will have the opportunity to win more gold medals than many other performers at this Commonwealth Games.
Bonora, though, might have just shaded her here. Remember, she is a national champion of her country on uneven bars. And 14.15, and she's got in front of Bonora. And the crowd not quite sure what to make of that. I think they almost wanted Bonora to be in front. It was a muted reception.
It was indeed.
Mitchell had a higher difficulty. Anyway, let's get on with Lim from Singapore.
Very little gymnast, but she lifts from bar to bar so very well. Now, that was a beautiful pirouette. Doing a somersault, well caught, just a tiny bit close. And that was a little bit untidy. Oh, and a problem there. She had to take an extra swing before she was able to get to the high bar. Recovered beautifully. Lovely dismount. That was a shame. She went for a difficult link. Didn't quite perform the first element cleanly enough and wasn't able to get the feet on. Here she starts. Good work. This is the Ginger. Feet a little bit apart, you could see from this angle, and low. The release move should be above the bar, but the dismount was good, high, beautifully landed.
21-year-old Heem Wei, she was 15th all around, qualified with a 12.45, but it doesn't look like she can get near Mitchell or Bonora or Lemieux-Guillemette.
I'd be very surprised with that error in the middle.
Anyway, she's come off smiling. Well, that's the end of the competition. Just the 7 finalists, with Kristen Clarenbach not taking part in the uneven bars final.
Well, we whipped through at great pace there.
They're not long routines, are they, Chris? 11.375 slots Lim into 6th position. And that's that. Lauren Mitchell has a 3rd gold medal. And looking at the difficulty in execution, just to try and elaborate a little, she had a higher difficulty start than Bonora.
Yes, 0.2 more in difficulty. Each move the gymnast performs is given a different value, and the judges add all those values up. Lauren Mitchell had a value of 5.5 to Georgia Bonora's of only 5.3. So if they both performed it exactly the same, Lauren Mitchell would be the winner, and that's what happened.
So it's Australia 1-2 and Canada 3rd. Congratulations to Cynthia Lemieux-Guillemette. Gave a very solid performance on uneven bars to pick up the bronze for Canada. Some consolation with the late and controversial withdrawal of her teammate Kristen Clarenbach.
She certainly looks happy with the turn of events.
Confirming results for you then in the women's uneven bars final. It's Lauren Mitchell of Australia from her teammate Georgia Bonora, Canada's Cynthia Lemieux-Guillemette, then Charlotte Lindsay of England, Jordan Lipton of Scotland, and Lim of Singapore, and Hunt of England. So in they come, presentation for uneven bars. And another good result for the Australians with a 1-2 finish. Canada 3rd. Mitchell, Bonora and Lemieux-Guillemette. No surprises there for you, Chris?
No, I think these had been the gymnasts who'd posted the highest scores during qualifying. They'd been consistent.
The real drama was about who didn't take part, I suppose, in Kristen
Yes.
Clarenbach after the dramas on vault.
Yes, the women gymnasts have performed excellently and shown all their stamina for this last 3 days.
That's such a great smile that Cynthia Lemieux-Guillemette gives us. Kim Dowdall presenting the medal. She's had a busy night sorting out a few problems here and there. Nothing she hasn't seen before, I guess, but we certainly had a few moments.
No, I guess coaches have the right to protest scores if they're not happy with them. You have to do it within a certain amount of time, but it's part of gymnastics that you can question.
Georgia Bonora, 20-year-old from the Waverley Gym Club in Melbourne. Certainly posted the early score to beat, but she would always have been concerned about what Lauren Mitchell would do.
Very experienced and important member of the Australian team. Their highest score at the Olympic Games.
So Lauren Mitchell, well, she's got the 3. The team, the all-around, and now her first apparatus final. And there's 2 more to come. If she were to win the beam and floor, she would be the most successful female gymnast at the Commonwealth Games, with 5 gold at 1 Games.
Yes, the most successful ever, and she's a beautiful champion. She's improved and gained in confidence as we've seen her perform.
Well, class tells she is world class. She's medalled at World Championships. It feels like getting ahead of ourselves to talk about her winning another 2, Chris, but she could, if she did, and she would certainly be favoured on beam and perhaps equal favourite on floor. If she walked away with 5, she would be one of the most successful athletes at the Games in any sport.
Yeah, I would imagine she probably would be. She would be setting quite a precedent for gymnastics, and she's improving each time we see her, which is the mark of a great champion, somebody who enjoys competing, builds on each performance, and certainly today she didn't look like there was any chance at all that she wasn't going to perform well.
So congratulations to Mitchell, Bonora and Lemieux-Guillemette. 1, 2, 3 in women's uneven bars.